busy bees. Welcome to Nursing with Professor B. My name is Bridget. I have a master's degree in nursing education. I'm also a family nurse practitioner. I do videos on health, wealth, and wellness. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure you hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell. Okay, so in today's video, I will be answering a question by Zenobia. I really hope that I said your name right. She wrote, "Hello, Professor B. My name is Zenobia. I binge watched several of your videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for the encouragement. You are welcome, and I believe in you, and you." I truly think that each and every one of you, if you focus, study hard, you can do it, okay? I was wondering, where did you go for graduate school? I went to graduate school at the University of Central Florida, which is in Central Florida. She said just a little bit about myself. She said she was an LPN for 10 years. She went back to school and earned her ASN. So Zenobia, definitely being in the field for so long is going to help you when you decide to be a nurse practitioner. She says, "I'm finishing up my BSN. Yay, congratulations." She says, "I'm undecided about, I'm not Canadian. I don't know why I said about. Anyways, I'm undecided about which graduate school I should attend. I wanted to hear your experiences with graduate school." All right. So for me, it really is up to you. For me, I decided to go. Okay. So fun fact, I got my master's degree originally in nursing education. So that was 2 years of graduate school. I then decided to go back to school to be a nurse practitioner. Now, the University of Central Florida, even though I had already taken certain classes, they made me retake all those classes. I do not know why. They were just like that. They only carried over 9 credits of classes I had already taken. I chose to go back to school with them though because they are more affordable. If you choose to go to a private school, that's the caveat. You may be paying more in student loans, you may be more in debt. So that is why I chose a public university, because I wanted a more affordable education. Nothing against private schools. If you can afford them, then go for it. But that's why I chose the school I chose. Financial reasons. I mean, UCF does have a good reputation. I would also pick a school, ask around, join a Facebook nursing group. There's a group called Nurse Practitioner Newbies. I'm part of that group. You can ask in there and say, "Hey, what do you guys feel about Chamberlain's? How do you feel about this program and that program?" And then listen to the feedback that other people are saying. For me, also, the thing that I liked about UCF is that they placed you in clinicals. I have a friend who is in her psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner program, and she's had to withdraw from classes several times because now with COVID, no site is taking students. No one is taking. So it's a lot harder. Graduate school is hard enough. Like, you don't want to have to worry about finding your own preceptor. For me, that was a huge added bonus to why I decided to go with UCF, because I did not want to find my own clinical placements. I did not want to do that. Now, I was the last graduating class for its master's degree program. Going forward, UCF has transitioned into a doctoral degree program for nurse practitioners. So they only have a DNP now. Another school, I only applied to 2 schools for my nurse practitioner program. I applied at UCF and I applied at USF, which is the university that's located in Tampa. They also have a great reputation. They're also very affordable. They do require an interview. I went to the interview and I actually got admitted into both universities. So then I said, well, I'm going to go with UCF because USF is a little further. It's in Tampa. So I hope that answers your question. I think USF also places clinical students. I'm not sure, but clinical placement is a big thing for me. My experience with graduate school, and again, Zenobia, I'm not sure if you're going to school for nurse practitioner. I will assume that's what you are doing. For me, I will always say the hardest part of nursing for me was when I was getting my associate's degree. I came into this nursing field not knowing anything. I was never a tech. I was never exposed to medicine. And all of a sudden I'm in nursing school and it's learning a whole new language. It was a culture shock. I did not know what I was getting myself into. To be perfectly transparent, how did I get into nursing? Well, right after high school, I went to New York for acting school. I was there for 3 years pursuing a career in acting and singing. I got tired of living in poverty. I got tired of the sexual harassment and I got tired of everything. Like the behind the scenes in the industry can be very not pretty. So I was like, I am tired of living in poverty. I'm too smart to be throwing my life away like this. And for people that continue to pursue it, this was just my decision. I'm speaking for myself. If you continue to pursue it, kudos to you. But after pursuing it, I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living in poverty. I always got great grades in school. Let me go back to school for something. And then, so my mom and I were talking, and I was between massage therapist and nurse. And my mom was like, why don't you just do nurse? I wanted a career that I thought like I could just go to school for a short amount of time, bam, wham, I'm done, and I have good job security. My mom was like, why don't you just pick nursing? My mom knew nothing about nursing either. It's just 2 years and you'll be done, right? Ha ha ha. Here I am like 10 years later and I just finished school. So, and I don't know if I'll get my DMP. I don't know. I don't think so. Because to be honest with you, they don't pay that much more. I've already been to graduate school twice. I'm so tired. I want to live my life. I don't know. I'm not taking it completely off the table, but someone would have to pay for it, because why am I going to get my DMP to have the same exact job with no extra pay? Anyways, so my experience with graduate school is it was not as hard as the associate degree program for me, because I already had a foundation. Yes, it's challenging, and yes, it's a lot of work, but now when they talk about hypertension, you have the foundation for hypertension, and when you're discussing how to treat hypertension, you've already been exposed to beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, diuretics. Like, you're not learning everything from scratch. You already know, you've seen it in the hospital. You know that beta blockers lower heart rate. You know that they're not that effective at treating hypertension, that you would first go with maybe a diuretic and then you progress, and you've been exposed to all of this. So it's not as hard for me. It was a lot of work, but it wasn't that hard. And then she asked, did you attend an online or hybrid program? So I did a hybrid program. We did have, we had labs where we would go and we would interact with other students. And for me, I like class. I actually do like going to class. I feel like when I take online programs, it's like, here's the textbook, read pages 200 to 300, and you're going to be tested on it. No open books. The exam will be proctored, and you have, I'm exaggerating, but let's say you have 200 questions and they expect you to do it in this little bit of time. So I prefer hybrid programs. I feel like it's better because I like going to clinicals. I like seeing the professor. I like being able to ask questions. And I feel like you get to meet the other students. There's a few friends that like I made in nursing school that it would have never happened, I don't think, if it was all online. So it is important. And presentations and stuff, it's not the same to do things online versus in person. And I do feel like you learn more by actually experiencing. There's actually a cone of learning. There's a cone of learning, and the highest form of learning is simulation, because you are doing something versus reading about it and all that. So my opinion, hybrid programs are better. I'm hesitant about fully online programs. Again, this is my opinion. I'm sure that there are great online programs, but for me, I learn better by being in person. Everybody's different. It depends on your learning style. It depends on, there's so many factors. So Zenobia, thank you so much for the questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to write me. If you have a question, if anybody else has a question about what I've been through or how it was, feel free to either email me or write a comment below. And Yeah, I mean, and going back to what I said earlier, how I was like really on the cusp of like massage therapy or nursing, I'm so happy I picked nursing because it has become my passion. I was always passionate about health, so nursing is good for that field. I'm a very compassionate, I'm an empath, I care a lot, so it's a good field for caring. And there's so many different avenues and opportunities in nursing. For me, I loved mental health nursing. That's probably the only nursing I would have stayed bedside doing. But for me, med surge bedside nursing was not. That's not my passion. So I love nursing because when you're a massage therapist, like that's it. That's all you can do. You can either teach massage therapy or be a massage therapist. Now you can be a massage therapist in different areas, but you're pretty much stuck in that center. With nursing, I mean, the opportunities are limitless. You can be a NICU nurse, a pediatric nurse. You can be a labor and delivery nurse. You can be an endo nurse. You can work at the cath lab. And then there's graduate school options. You can be a certified registered nurse anesthetist and do anesthesia, and they make like almost 150 to 200,000 a year. They're the highest paid CRNA. They're the highest paid specialty. You can be a nurse practitioner. You can be a geriatric nurse practitioner. You can be a NICU nurse practitioner. You can be a pediatric nurse practitioner. You can be an acute care nurse practitioner. Those are the people that technically are the ones that should be working in the hospital. You can be a family nurse practitioner. I mean, you can be into nursing informatics, leadership and management. Like that's what people don't realize about nursing is there are so many specialties, such a spectrum, even within nursing. It's truly astounding. I mean, when I got into nursing, I had no idea. But I'm really glad. I'm really glad that I did it. Great job security, good pay. And I'm going to do a video on like my pet peeve is when patients ask like, "Oh, when are you going to become a doctor?" And I'm just like for me, I'm happy. I'm happy the path that I took. I have a lot of respect for physicians, for medical doctors, but I don't think that being a medical doctor, that wasn't my, I don't want to be a medical doctor. I like the foundation of nursing and how we are taught to take care of patient. The number one thing, my pain doctor actually told me once, he's like, my experience, and he was a great guy. I'm not talking bad about this doctor. I really actually respect him. Brilliant man. But he's like, my experience with nurse practitioners is you guys talk too much. And like, I kind of chuckled. It's not that we talk too much. We just are educating our patients, because I can't tell you how many times the doctor used to walk out of the room and the patient was like, so what am I supposed to do? Or what am I taking? So that background in nursing helps us to relate to our patients better, because we have been there with them. We have spent 12 hours a day with them, and we see what goes on as soon as the doctor walks out the room. So we know that we need to break things down, and we know we've seen the side effects that they have suffered. So it's important for me to tell them like, hey, when you take your albuterol inhaler, it may make your heart feel like it's beating a little bit faster, and it may give you a feeling of a little bit of anxiety, because we've seen them, we've been there with them when they're like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me, my heart is racing. And if you can anticipate those reactions so that when it happens, they're not freaking out and they're not having an anxiety attack, to me, that's priceless. And to me, that's what nursing is all about. It's a different approach to medicine. It's nursing, but it's medicine, but we do it our way. And that is what makes life beautiful, is the difference and the variety. So, I like it. I would not want to be a medical doctor. Not for me. So I do want to do a video on what is a nurse practitioner and why patients should stop asking nurse practitioners, why don't you become a doctor? Because this is MD route, this is nurse practitioner route. There's no bridge to cross over to MD. We would have to go reverse and start all the way over to become a medical doctor. And I don't want to spend another 10 years of my life to become a medical doctor. I'm good with where I'm at. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell.